Hello Lexington, welcome to the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department's latest Facebook video, and we're going to be talking about how you can have a very healthy Thanksgiving. Joining us today is Sarah McMahan. I guess first I need to introduce myself. I can't just assume everyone knows and watches all of these wonderful videos. My name is Kevin Hall, and I'm the communications officer here, and we are doing these regularly so that you know all the great public health information that our trained experts here at the health department have to offer. Sarah McMahan, you are a health educator?
Correct.
You've been doing this for a while?
I've been doing it for about 1.5 years, and then before I had my daughter, I also worked for 1 year as a diabetes health educator. So I've got to do many things with the health department.
Well, we're here today to talk about Thanksgiving, and it's something that a lot of people, they have the best of intentions of eating healthy, of being active. But then you get these plates of food, you get the platters of the turkey and the dressing and the mashed potatoes.
It's part of the tradition.
Yes,
right?
And part of the tradition is often to overindulge. And you're here to give our viewers more information on portion control, healthy options, and just different things they can do, ways they can even say, no, thank you, I've had my fill. So
Absolutely.
I guess first, tell us a little bit about what you've got here, this plate.
So I like to give people, I'm a visual learner myself, so I like to have the actual visual. And so this is what we call the My Plate. Most people have seen it by now. It used to be the food pyramid that we had, and they've kind of changed it to this so that people can actually see what it looks like on your plate. So we've got our vegetables, our fruit, our grains, our protein, and then a little side of dairy over here.
Do I have to pour my milk into this and drink it like a cat?
You don't have to drink it like a cat. You are welcome to, if you feel that would be.
If it helps your child drink.
Yeah, if it helps your child drink. Yeah, make it fun. We always want it to be a fun thing. But this just gives you a nice visual so that whenever you go into any meal, you can think, do I have my plate together in this meal? What can I do? What can I add to it? What do I need to take away to make it more like this? And it's not necessarily going to be perfect every time, but if you can get as close to this as possible, you're on your way to a healthier lifestyle.
Okay, so the people at home obviously aren't going to have these plates. They're going to have
A
regular sized dinner plates.
Yes.
We have a few options here. We had our Thanksgiving luncheon today at the health department. So some of the food we boxed up to be able to show you what to do, what not to do. Let's take a look first at the what not to do.
This is actually what Kevin does.
This is my to-go plate. And I've not looked at this, but this is heavy. This thing weighs about, this is like a newborn child. So we're going to open this up. Oh, mercy. So can you see this? It's a little bit spilling out on me. We have what looks to be 4 pieces of turkey in there, 2 rolls, half of a container worth of, or a quarter of a container, I'm sorry, each of green beans, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and a triple portion of stuffing, all covered in gravy. It looks delicious. Probably not the healthiest option, I would bet, Sarah. So if this is at home, I bring this plate out. What would you tell me to do first?
I would tell you, well, good job at getting a variety in there. You know, there are positives to this plate in that you did get a little bit of everything. And we don't want you, being a holiday and everything, we don't want you to feel like you can't eat your favorite holiday things. So if macaroni and cheese is really your thing, make sure you get some of that. We don't want you to feel deprived. I would tell you that we don't need 3 pieces. We want you to have white meat is better than dark meat if you can choose that, and to have just a smaller portion. They say around the size of a deck of cards is kind of how you can look at the size of your meat portion.
So is that a traditional deck of cards or like
a
Uno?
There's
a lot of cards in Uno. So they often say the
deck.
size of your fist, and so if you put our fist, I'd go with one more. I'm going to go with the serving more of my fist than your small fist. So, but you're looking at a traditional 52 count deck of cards.
I'm looking at, your more traditional size. With bread, they often say, you know, think about whether you really want those dinner rolls or whether you really want a dessert, and maybe make that.
Did you say
kind
or?
Of yeah.
Or.
I'm afraid so. They would like you to choose between the bread if you can.
And they are the dietitians.
The dietitians, yes. I will say I am not a dietitian, but I am a health educator, and I work a lot with our dietitians, and so they have taught me a lot, and I'm able to share that with you guys. Stuffing is obviously very starchy, the macaroni and cheese is starchy, and the mashed potatoes are very starchy. So you've got a whole lot of starch on this plate. Hidden under here, what most people can't see, are some green beans, and that green is good.
There's green beans
so
down
you've got
there.
some green in there. So my advice would be to make that plate a bit smaller. And so Kevin's going to take that home and make it smaller, maybe share it with his wife.
To be clear, she didn't know that I was bringing this home, so the secret's out on that.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is going to be a few meals. This will be 3 or 4 meals for us. So for those of you watching, we do practice what we teach here. This will not be consumed in one setting. It will be shared among others. So let's take a look then here at what Sarah has called a more reasonable plate, I guess. This is, to me, this looks like a starter. But
Just
this is
a little appetizer for you.
But this is what is a healthier option.
Healthier, and I think we should specify too, a lot of times we come to our Thanksgiving meals and this might be all that you have the option to pick from. We encourage people to bring a healthy option. If you can bring a plate of vegetables to share with everyone, if you can bring fruit, things like that would
Well, now my
encourage
grandmother
other
does
people.
provide a huge dish of vegetables, but they're covered with butter and sugar.
Right.
And
So
a lot
raw
of-
vegetables would be great. Maybe have that out as an appetizer, and if people can fill up a little bit on those raw vegetables before the big meal, then they'll be more inclined to pick one of these types of plates versus one of these types of plates, because they won't feel so hungry.
Okay, so talk a little bit about the portion size here so people can see. This is the deck of cards about the
Yeah, as
size?
you can see, it's completely different from this. We've got one piece of meat as opposed to the 3 or 4. I can't tell how many are in there. And then we've got, much smaller serving sizes. I went a little heavier on the green beans because that was not a starchy one. So I kind of went a little bit heavier on those. But overall, it's much more in proportion to each other and much healthier for you.
So again, you would think that at a lot of these gatherings, people are going to have more options. We were limited here at the department of what we brought in, so you're not going to be, for most people watching, or a lot of people watching, it's not going to just be these heavy starchy items. I do want to go back to though. There's no macaroni and cheese.
There's
on
no macaroni
here.
and cheese. No, but I did get a cookie because that was what my choice was.
So
I
no
wanted to
macaroni and
make
cheese and no
sure.
cookie and no bread. So a brownie? Are you having both?
So I'm having one. So
Okay, let's take a look here. So we do have dessert options.
Mm-hmm. And they recommend that if you want to even cut down a little more, you can have half of a cookie or half of the brownie, depending on how big they are. You don't have to eat, a lot of people feel like they have to eat the whole cookie, but you can actually just eat half of that and save
I've never heard of half a
another
cookie.
portion for later.
There are such half a cookie. That is
Half a cookie.
phenomenal, interesting
You can
concept
share
here.
it with
Is
a friend.
that trademark?
You can share it with a friend.
Okay. Well, one thing that we heard from some people in planning this is that they want to know how could they say no. What tips do you have? So I'm offering, Sarah, here, a delicious cookie and a delicious brownie, not halves, whole. We want you to have both of these.
Whole, I'm not allowed to
You're
take
not allowed
the
to have
half.
it.
Okay.
What's a way that you could help give people that tip on?
Well, it is very difficult because people will call you out if they notice. So that makes them feel bad sometimes if
Or
they
they've
want
made
to have
this,
it or
or-
they've made it.
Yeah.
And you can take one for later. That would be an option. Say, oh, I'd love to. I'm actually very full right now, but I'd love to try that later. It looks really delicious, and take it home with you.
So now they're watching this. Somebody says that to you.
Yeah,
on
now they're going to know my
Thanksgiving,
secret's
the
out.
secret's
yes.
out. So.
But again, going to things, if you can bring in a healthy option, because most people appreciate when you bring something to the meal. I don't know how everyone does it, but ours is a big kind of potluck at our Thanksgiving, and so we'll all bring something. And so I'll make sure to bring some vegetables, and my sister will make sure to bring the fruit salad, and that way we at least know we have those healthy options to snack on.
Okay. The meal's, excuse me, the meal is over. I maybe have eaten this plate. I've eaten the whole cookie, maybe a few bites of macaroni and cheese.
Maybe.
I'm feeling stuffed. What can I do? What can I do now? Any quick and easy physical activity tips when you're hanging out with your
sure.
family?
So if there are kids there, kids love to move, as anyone who has kids around knows. So you can play a game of tag, you can play hide and seek and be at least walking around while the kids are hiding. I often suggest going for just a family walk. It could be a nice tradition to start with your family. Obviously, if the weather's not so good, you might not want to, but, you know, put on a rain. If it's not, you know, dangerous weather, put on a raincoat, put on, depending on the weather in Kentucky, and we never know what that's going to be. But, you know, being cold, if it's not dangerously cold, it really is good to put on a jacket, and you'll feel so much better after you do that.
And then when you go back for your leftovers
And then when
or
you go back
second
for your
lunch,
leftovers, yeah.
then you don't feel quite so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, if people want to get more information, how can they, because obviously you can't tell everybody everything here in one video. How can they learn more?
You can always come talk to our community health equity and education team. We are always doing classes, and we're available at the office to answer questions. We have registered dietitians, certified diabetes educators, and all sorts of other health educators that are here to help you at any time.
Yeah, you can give them a call at 859-288-2446. Most of these classes, if not all, are free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yes.
so which is great. It's a great opportunity for people
Absolutely.
in Lexington to learn more about how to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are on Facebook, we're going to have more of these tips shared, not only in the comments section of this video that you're watching, but also throughout the upcoming days leading into Thanksgiving, because we're going to have more tips on how to baby-proof and child-proof the home that you may be visiting. Your home may be safe, but the one you're visiting, your grandparents or another relative's house, tips you can take for that. We're also looking at what you can do to make sure that foodborne illness doesn't happen to your family. That's not anything anybody wants to share at Thanksgiving. The simple thing is, don't leave keep the hot foods hot and the cold foods cold. You don't want to leave those leftovers hanging out too long.
Definitely.
But that's going to be for another day. Look for those being posted on Facebook. Sarah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to go look forward to eating this at multiple meals in a healthy fashion. Give Sarah and her team a call, 859-288-2446. I want to make sure that you get the right number to be able to reach you all and all your information. Thank you for watching. Have a very safe and healthy Thanksgiving. We are thankful to be able to provide these public health tips to you, Lexington. We'll talk to you soon.